Disney Plus, they have a new Star Wars series. Now, of course, many of us grew up on Star Wars. You know, classic battles of good versus evil, in which, honestly, most of the battles are modeled on World War II air battles, in which the Empire is clearly a stand-in for the Nazis. Well, now Disney Plus has decided it's time to shift the narrative a little bit. It's time for something different. It's time to indoctrinate small children in the cult of Pride Month. This is how we must raise our children. So Amandla Stenberg, who is the lead actress on a new Star Wars series on Disney Plus called The Acolyte, along with Leslye Headland, creator and showrunner, explain that The Acolyte, again, a show designed for children, about my kid's age, is the gayest show ever. This is very important stuff for our generation.
I want to ask you both because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you
Not
bracing
the gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the.
It's pretty gay, let's be honest. Leslye, how do you feel?
Am I gay? Yes.
Well, no, I know you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this, this is going to be a talking point?
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure so.
Because nerds are gay.
Was this the fun element of...
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly...
You're offended?
Into it. No.
I think that Star Wars is so gay already.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen the fits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and then send each other a reference photo.
And are you telling me, with a straight face, that C-3PO is straight?
They're a couple. That's what I think. But this is more outward.
I think it's canon that R2D2 is a lesbian.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
This is how they're raising our kids. By the way, both of the women in this particular clip are lesbians, the lead actress as well as the showrunner and creator of The Acolyte. And is that how you produce a generation of children who actually think beyond themselves? Or is this how you produce generations of kids who think only of themselves in every context? We'll get to more on this in just one moment. First, if you're struggling with collections, medical bills, credit cards, or personal loans, you need to check out PDS Debt. PDS Debt is an innovative one-stop shop to guide you on your journey to freedom from debt. There's no one-size-fits-all solution to becoming debt-free. That's why PDS Debt offers multiple programs and solutions tailored to your specific needs, budget, and future financial goals. Whether you're going through a serious hardship or you just can't seem to keep up with the high interest on your credit cards, PDS Debt will craft a custom solution to give you instant relief and start saving you money. If you're making payments every month on your debt, your balances aren't going down, this program is for you. PDS Debt provides options that consolidate your debts into one low monthly payment. Not only does PDS Debt have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, you'll save thousands in interest and fees and pay off your debt in a fraction of the time. PDS Debt cares about helping you get out of debt. Check out all their reviews. See how many people mention PDS Debt employees by name. It's incredible because they have awesome customer service. Right now, PDS Debt is offering my listeners a free debt analysis. It just takes 30 seconds. Head on over to pdsdebt.com/Shapiro. Get your free debt assessment today. That's pdsdebt.com/Shapiro to check them out today. pdsdebt.com/Shapiro. Amandla Stenberg went even further, of course. She says that the goal of The Acolyte is to make white people cry. Is this the kind of American unity that leads to American sacrifice? Again, it is hard to juxtapose these, just emotionally. It's hard to juxtapose D-Day with the current generation because it's like walking into an alien world filled with stupid people who believe only in their own emotional self-centeredness. It's really pathetic, and it's really terrible. Here is Amandla Stenberg talking about how she hopes that white people are offended by her. I can't believe that this show's going to bomb, that it'll be a giant dud, and no one will allow their kids to watch it. Here she is explaining to Trevor Noah that the goal of the show is to make white people cry.
When people watch The Hate U Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was the goal. It was the goal.
Yeah, that's great. As always, reverse the races and you see how racist this is. If you ever said that a show or a movie were about making black people cry, it'd be the most racist thing ever. But this is the generation, a self-centered generation where they are the only people that matter. And we are literally raising our kids across the country in order to believe in this new God, a new God that was rejected by generations of Americans before who used to worship the God of the Bible and no longer do. Piece by Chris Rufo, who does amazing work over at City Journal, talking about the education of our children. Quote, Portland, Oregon has earned its reputation as America's most radical city. I have obtained a collection of publicly accessible documents produced by the Portland Association of Teachers. an affiliate of the State Teachers Union that encourages its more than 4,500 members to teach Palestine. The lesson plans are steeped in radicalism. They begin teaching the principles of decolonization to students as young as 4 and 5 years old. For pre-kindergarten kids, the union promotes a workbook from the Palestinian Feminist Collective, which tells the story of a fictional Palestinian boy named Amandla. When I was only 10 years old, I had to flee my home in Palestine, the boy tells readers. A group of bullies called Zionists wanted our land, so they stole it by force and hurt many people. Students are encouraged to come up with a slogan they can chant at a protest and complete a maze so Amandla can, quote, get back home to Palestine, represented as a map of Israel. In kindergarten through second grade, the ideologies intensify. The Teachers Union recommends a lesson, Art and Action for Palestine, that teaches students that Israel, like America, is an oppressor. The objective is to connect histories of settler colonialism from Palestine to the United States and to celebrate Palestinian culture and resistance throughout history and in the present with a focus on Palestinian children's resistance. This is the way that many on the left in the United States have been trying to teach kids for years. And the emotive individualism that is taught by the left in reality is a guise for simply tearing down the institutions that made America great, that created the greatest generation, that provided the moral foundation for the greatest generation. You can't tear away those foundations without tearing away the ability of people to thrive, to be strong, to do the heroic things. You cannot ask heroic things of a group of people you have raised to be non-heroic. When you decide that the most heroic people are people who are involved in false self-expression, a thing that Joe Biden has literally said, he says the bravest people that he knows are quote-unquote transgender kids. When your definition of bravery, I've made this joke before, but it's not really a joke. When you say that the definition of bravery is you misidentifying your own gender, as opposed to, storming the beaches at Normandy on behalf of family, religion, faith, freedom, the Constitution of the United States, and putting your life at risk, it may be a throwaway line to Joe Biden, but it betrays something deeper, which is our very definition of what it means to be a heroic and brave human being has changed. And we have raised entire generations in this cult. And then we are surprised when it turns out that we have a hard time recruiting for the military, when it turns out that it's hard to get young people in America to understand that America historically is a great force in the world, not a good force, a great force in the world. We're surprised when we learn that people across the political spectrum in the United States who are young are having a tough time understanding American history and are somehow finding sympathy with the world's worst human beings. When you raise an absolutely unfettered generation, what you get is not a generation of enlightened little tots. What you end up with is a destructive set of radioactive isotopes walking around society and decaying everything in their path. And that is what we are facing in the United States. Again, conservatism, Americanism, American values, those things, it's not a lie, begin at home. They begin locally. The power of government that has been used to destroy that on behalf of a different ideology is the great tragedy of American history. You cannot have D-Day without a generation capable of actually storming beaches. And that's something Americans ought to remember as they have their own children and raise them. These are all decisions that we have to make together in order to make sure that we actually have an America capable of preserving itself and an America worth preserving. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.